We have a new way to sync the audio and... Oh. Stephanie!
That was you!
Welcome to... It's the most fun for $14 you can have with your clothes on.
I was going to say that was probably the greatest purchase you've made all year.
Yeah, it's just so good. It's great in meetings too. Clients love it. Okay, welcome to What You Watchin'. Am I yelling?
Screaming again. Why does he feel like he has to yell
I'm
every time?
yelling. I can't help it. I'm excited we're here. Look where we are.
Technology now, you don't have to yell. If the mic picks it up. I think this is a great segue because we're talking about technology and things being old.
Yes.
And so we're going to talk about...
Oh, really?
No, I didn't talk about you. I said we're going to talk about something old.
Okay. All right. We are talking about Woodstock 99. And Woodstock 99 was pretty crazy.
It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because we had to go back and research Woodstock because we were only, what, 6?
4.
6.
Yeah. Well, you were older than I am.
69.
So she was older.
1969.
Right.
And we were born in 62.
62.
So we were 7. Our good friends who lived down the street were 17.
Yes, so they were older.
And then the people on the corner were 27.
Right.
So they were the one couple was too young at 17 to go, and the 27-year-olds already had kids, so nobody on our street really remembers Woodstock.
No.
So we did some research on it. And for those of you that like the Fire Festival or the Fry Festival?
Fire. Which was a disaster. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. It's a complete disaster.
It was a disaster. And so we thought, oh, let's watch another disaster documentary.
Yeah, perfect.
What do you want to say about it?
Well, it was pretty interesting because what happened was the gentleman that created it, and his name was Michael Lang. He was the main guy. He was a very young guy, really, really bright, promoter, producer, and he was kind of this guy that says, you know, I'm going to do this festival, and I want it to be the Aquarian experience, 3 days of peace and music. And that's what it says right here on the paper.
But it was supposed to be peace, love, and rock and roll. Like they started out calling it the Aquarian event because it was the age of Aquarius.
Yeah.
It ended up being about love and the hippies, and it was very peaceful.
It was very peaceful.
It was peaceful. It was known as a peaceful event.
It was. And the interesting thing was, not only was it peaceful, but there was a lot of drugs taking place there, and a lot of people that were having a lot of fun.
Well, the reason we're telling you this is because they set out to recreate the original Woodstock, and the original Woodstock was very organic.
Yes.
They were supposed to charge tickets. It was like $18 for the whole weekend. They weren't prepared, so they didn't put up gates and fences, and it ended up being 1 million people.
They thought they were going to have 50,000. 50,000 was the original estimate, and they had over 1 million people. It was insane. 3
people died. One lady got hit by a tractor on her way out, and 2 people overdosed.
Yeah, bad.
Now we're going to switch over to 99.
Woodstock 99. And it's basically, you fast forward 30 years, Michael Lang decides he's going to do it again. And it's going to be the last hurrah 30 years later that he's going to actually do this huge event. Well, it doesn't go the way they thought it was going to go. No.
It was a different time, so you figure 30 years later, people have changed, situations have changed. They decided that since Woodstock was free, they were going to try to monetize it as much as possible.
Right.
And people felt really ripped off.
Yeah.
And they paid a lot of money, so they felt entitled to certain things like water.
They would throw away your water and everything that you brought in. Even though you were camping there for 3 days, they were throwing everything away. The other big weird thing was, this was done on a decommissioned military base. So it was really just turned into this big time cluster.
It was a disaster.
The question quickly became not how could this have happened, but how could it not?
I mean, a disaster. And one of the reasons was that the type of artists that they had were like the rager bands.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Honey, stop it. Okay.
I don't care. Anyway, so this thing is worth watching only because it was people out of control. I feel like we're living in an environment right now where people are out of control.
Right. one of the things was they were not letting anybody do open fires. That was like an extreme, absolutely not, no open fires. So what do? The promoter decides he's got this brilliant idea, Michael Lang, that they're going to do a candlelight vigil the last night. And they do the candlelight vigil after the most rowdy group has performed. And they can't figure out why all of these spontaneous fires are popping up around the military base.
It was crazy. And I just think for me, being a parent, I was like disgusted. They had like the mosh pit where people are just...
Not a mosh pit.
Have you ever been in a mosh pit? You're
Yeah.
not the...
You've never been in a mosh pit.
At a Backstreet Boys concert. It was a very, very mild mosh
We're not
pit.
the mosh pit.
You were with me. We were both in the mosh pit and we're like, oh, okay.
We're not. What was the first concert you went to?
Wow. Fleetwood Mac at Santa Barbara, UCSB. First one. How about you?
I think I just moved to Houston, so
Yeah.
it's 1975 maybe,
Okay.
and I was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
My next door neighbor invited me to Yes,
Oh, no.
and I think I was 15, and we were going with two 19-year-old boys, and I had a very strict father. I wasn't allowed to date
Yes.
anybody older. I wasn't even allowed to date then.
You
And
should have
then-
seen the vetting I went through.
Yeah, it was scary.
Oh, my God.
Rightly so. Somebody's renting a boat below us.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. Everybody look at me because I'm sailing on a boat.
Full circle. Bring it
What
around.
is the
Bring it
best
around.
concert you've ever seen?
The best concert. The iHeart concerts are pretty spectacular because it's usually 1 day or 2 days, and they have a really stellar lineup. So that to me has always been really fun. We're kind of country fans, so if you're a country fan, put it in the comments below. We'd love to talk country with you. I think Zach Brown probably.
Yeah, and
We
the,
saw-
the Eagles
we
at
saw-
the Rose Bowl. Remember?
Oh, I do remember that. Oh, God.
We were really broke, and my dad gave us money for my birthday.
You can't tell the story?
Bills. We went to the
Oh,
Eagles
my
concert.
God.
That might be why we were broke.
You can't tell this story.
Why? It's true. Now my dad watches every episode.
Yeah, well, you know what? We've made up for it. I keep doing this.
And I
don't
kept
know
saying to
what-
my dad, "Are you watching? Because nobody's liking us." And he's like,
Well, I liked you once.
"No, you have to like us every time. You have to like us every time." I saw 3 people today that said,
I love watching you on YouTube.
I go, well, where are your views? Like us.
Subscribe. Hit the bell.
Yeah.
Anyway, the whole bring this back around. This was Trainwreck Woodstock 99.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. I would give
Anywho's.
it a 3.5.
Okay.
Even though it was very entertaining, it had a lot of good moral stories to it.
Okay.
But I can't give it a higher number because of all the other stuff. I have to put it in the scheme of all the other shows.
I'm thinking like a 3.
Really? You didn't like it?
I thought it was good. I thought it was okay. Would I watch it again? I don't know. Probably
No,
not.
I wouldn't watch it again.
Probably
I-
wouldn't. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't watch it. I'm just saying that
Yeah, I
it's
thought it
worth
was
a watch. It's not worth watching it twice like I watch everything twice because Stephanie falls asleep halfway through.
It's worth watching.
It's worth watching.
Better than Pieces of Her.
Oh my God. Painful. Thanks for watching. Leave comments. Please do it. And we will see you next week on
All right.
another edition of
Peace.
What's Your
Out.
Oh, yeah. Peace.
Peace, love,
Yeah.
and
We gotta
Bobby
bring out the
Sherman.
red. Bye.